All right, this is going to be a fun one. Tipra, who's one of my students, just doubled his income in 30 days, and he's going to drop all the sauce on how he did it. Tipra joined VP Plus making absolutely nothing. We got him his first client, but he was stuck around $1,000 to $2,000 a month. Then we launched a brand new challenge. It's called the 30-Day Roadmap Challenge, and he turned the hell up. It is a accountability challenge to make you do more because loads of editors claim they want to make loads of money, but they actually aren't doing the correct practices at significant scale on a daily basis to actually change their situation. Today's session is going to spill all the beans on exactly how Tipra just went from $1,000 to $2,000 a month to $4,000 to $5,000 a month, and how you can steal the exact tactics and do the same yourself. Let's get into the interview. So Tipra, the man, the myth, the legend, what's going down, brother? How you doing today? You good?
Yes, we're doing super good. Just got to 5K and I'm super happy.
That's sick. So in the past month, you just doubled your income in 30 days. For anybody who doesn't know you, I know you're like a big name in VP. People know about you. You've been here for a while. You've networked really well. But for the people who either aren't in VP or just don't know you, who are you? What do you do? Where were you before VP Plus?
At the start, I didn't even know you can make money from video editing. Like I used to edit for my friends. I think I edited for, let's say, 5 to 6 months. And I was just learning and doing thing because I like editing and I enjoy editing as whole. And after that, I think like I realized you can make money because I think I've seen some Iman Ghazi style like thing. Like he was hiring and I saw like I could make something like that. I think I joined some Discord servers which have like an hiring tab, just free servers and
like
stuff.
Creative Paradise,
and I was
all those kind of random ones.
All those things. I mean, you don't really get anything from there, but it's like $100 to $50 per video. That's how I got started. Then I think I saw your post on Twitter. I didn't know VP Plus, and I saw on Twitter. I thought of joining, and at that point I didn't even have like $50. So what I did was I was editing for someone and I told him like I will do this whole big video for you and just buy this VP Plus subscription for me to my client.
You charged it to a client.
Yes.
Legendary.
I think at that point it was like $20 or $30 VP Plus. So for I think a 15-minute video, I just asked him to just buy VP Plus for me, and so he bought it. And for the first month I saw all those courses you have there and everything. I think I was doing a bit outreaching, like a very little amount,
like just
because
low
I
quality
had
outreach, like just really low quality, like just spammy outreach, or what?
Very less volume, like 1 to 2 outreaches like in a month or in a week.
So nothing basically.
It's nothing. I got no result from that. So but the thing was, because I was practicing editing before, I had like the skill, so I was posting my stuff on Twitter, and I think Alex Costa, the guy who has like 4.5 or something million subscribers, his manager was looking for an editor and they saw my post, so they asked me to work for them. It was honestly, I think, a day or two after joining VP Plus. That was my start. So I was working with them, and from 0 to 2K I worked with Alex Costa, Ruri Ohama, Eddie Cumberbatch, Kevin Park, and a lot of big names, because I just had a good Twitter basically, and I have good inbound system which you guys teach at VP Plus, how to attract clients.
Was it all Blue Path that got you those initial clients? Just focusing
Totally, just 100% Blue Path.
Sick.
I wasn't at that point, I wasn't doing any outreach because I think like I just don't like outreaching, but you have to do it. I got into an agency, Ayman Arab's agency.
Nice.
And I was still making around 2K. Then I realized like agency isn't just working out for me, because I was just burnt out at that point. I think that was kind of my lowest point in life, and I was like, whatever money I was making.
Were you overworking, or were like what was the point? What caused you the burnout?
You know, the thing is, like when you work for such a long time and you make money, you can see that work actually gets some result, and the money actually just I gave it to my parents because I was helping them. I couldn't see any money on my account, and I do have a picture from that time.
Yeah.
And it's just such a depressing photo of me. Wait, I'll send it to you. Wait, give me a second.
Let's have a look. We're gonna edit this on screen right now.
Yeah. Look at this. I was just fat. I was just so burnt out, and I was walking like this. That's
bro. It looks like a different person, bro. For real, I'm holding this up to the screen right now. This looks like two completely different people, bro.
Check the gains out, bro.
Bro. You fucking you've definitely slimmed down a bit. You're shredded now, bro. I mean, that looks like literally a different person, bro. That's pretty much been, you'd say, about the past like year and a half. You were working for some decent clients. You had a little bit of success with inbounds, which is great, but you were kind of stuck at inbounds. You weren't really doing any outreach. You'd messed around with agency. You kind of liked that a little bit. Weren't really the biggest fan of that, but you were absolutely feeling kind of stuck at this, like, you know, this 2K mark. And then about a month and a half ago, we launched the Roadmap Challenge, which basically, like, my big thing in VP is like, okay, anybody who I see come into VP Plus that just takes action immediately and does like more work than the regular person, they have success pretty quickly, right? I mean, there's also the other character who procrastinates and puts stuff off, and who I'll even give the benefit of the doubt to and say they might not know how much work it takes in those first couple months to really like build the foundation of your career. So we launched the 30-day Roadmap Challenge, which anybody in VP Plus can take. It, you know, has the outreach scripts. It has like a checkpoint every single week, an exact amount of outreaches to do. And you jumped on that challenge and you started doing the Roadmap Challenge. So what made you actually start outreaching for kind of like the first time seriously and stop just relying on inbounds? And what made you start taking the Roadmap Challenge?
You started the Roadmap Challenge basically, and I thought I'm already stuck at 2K and I want to just make some positive changes in my life. I thought I could do it. So the first week I was trying to do it. Thing is, when we try to outreach, is like that 20-second or like just a 1-minute hook takes so much time to edit. It just uses the brain, all the creativity
to figure it out.
Yeah. And when you go on to the third or the fourth or the fifth outreach of the day, it's just so drained. You can't think of any ideas. What is he saying? At least for me, it just wasn't working. So if you remember, on the second week, Tuesday, when we have a call, so I come up and I talk to you and I told you that I'm gonna do like 25 outreaches next week, or we have our academy, the $5 academy. You're gonna banish me down there. And the next week, if I do,
this is the main challenge for anybody who's not VP. If you say you're gonna do some big level of outreach and you don't do it, we banish you to the $5 community for 72 hours. This is anybody who I've told that to. They go so hard. I don't say that to everybody. But you know, it's not just like a flat banishment. But if you say I'm gonna do the outreaches and you commit to it and you don't do it, you're banished.
You have to.
Yeah, we haven't had to banish anybody yet because they've turned up and they've put the work in. And anybody who I've made that challenge to has not only done all the outreaches, but fucking landed clients because of it, because they just did more.
Yeah, I did the 25 outreaches and that's exactly it.
And that landed you this new client who you were at 2K, you were stuck at 2K. This new client is worth minimum of 2K, upwards of maybe 3K. So you're at between like $4 to $5 grand a month pretty much now.
Yeah, at the week start, I did like super high quality edit outreach to someone else, and 2-3 weeks later somebody reached out to me and they said, hey Tipra, and somebody recommended me to you, and they wanted to schedule a call with me. So I was wondering, because who has recommended me, because the name they gave I couldn't remember. Like, I do remember my client, so so how is he recommending me? And I got on a call, we talked, and they told me like who recommended me. I did an outreach to him.
Wow.
And I've kept on following up to him, and he had me in his brain.
That's crazy. So somebody who you didn't even close because you did value first outreach to him, he had you in his brain as like the editor. And when his boy asked or his friend asked, can you recommend me an editor? He recommended you just... That's sick.
That's insane.
That's the first time I've heard that. That's crazy. But again, like, that's the power of just putting yourself in front of more people, where like the law of averages is that, if you're doing, 2 value first outreaches, or, even like, 2 shitty outreaches every single week, you're not hitting enough volume for like weird lucky situations to happen. If you're doing 25 value first outreaches every single week for a month, that's 100 in total. Just the law of averages, you set yourself up for weird probabilities to happen like that, weird like freak scenarios to happen like that. And that's so cool that like that was the weird way that the value first outreach kind of indirectly converted for you. That's fucking badass. When we're on this topic of all these value first outreaches and you're fresh off completing the challenge and you've just like over 2x your income, which is incredible. That was, I remember saying to you, I think it was March 11th, because I looked at the messages. I said, we are pushing for you to hit 4K.
You literally said that.
Yeah. I said, you're going to hit 4K in the next 30 days. Just actually go fucking hard. And then boom, you did more, which is incredible. But after taking this challenge, was there any mindset shifts, whether it's work ethic, where it's treating outreach, as a very important thing to do? What were the big mindset shifts over the course of the past 30 days? Have you started thinking like more of a business now? Have you started thinking more of like sales first mindset?
Yes, definitely. Like before, I didn't even think that outreaching and stuff, it felt like so much time. And because I did like just 2 or 3 outreaches in a month, I thought I'm doing the work. I did like 2 or 3. I should be getting at least 1 or 2 replies at least. But that's the thing, people are so busy and a lot of them don't want to talk to you or don't want your service. The mindset shift is just doing the outreach every single day. There's this thing like in Atomic Habits, this book, I think it's called like plateau of latent potential.
Yeah.
And it's like you could be just one outreach away from this high ticket client and you wouldn't even know it because you gave up just before that. You don't have to do like 30, 40, 50 outreaches. If you do like at least even just 1% better from before, you'll get there. For me, that sprint required like 100%. That was like the best outcome because, you can't really keep on that pace for a long time.
No, it's very much so a sprint. So sorry to interrupt you. It's very much so a sprint. Like that's the thing. In 30 days, by following, just a higher level in 30 days, by incorporating a higher level of work ethic, you can bring yourself up to a new standard. Like you went from 2K to now your baseline being 4 to 5K. And it's like, great. You don't have to go hardcore outreach mode for the next month. You can maintain these clients. You can get comfortable making 4 or 5K. And then you could do another sprint in, a month, 6 weeks time, whenever you're ready to start moving up to the next level. So it very much so is like a short-term sprint where you do more than you normally would. So you can generate results faster than you normally would and generate a bigger result, get that, fantastic, then secure it. Now you want to work with this client for a few weeks, a couple months, make sure they're locked in, make sure you maintain your 4 or 5 grand a month, you don't go back down. And then when you're ready, cool, you go through another kind of sprint of extra hard work. But you've smashed this, Tipra. You've done fantastic, bro. We called it. We knew you were going to fucking do it. I mean, your skills were already there, which is the great thing. Yeah. You just had to get your skills in front of more people. And now you've done that. And, it's absolutely awesome.
The thing is, like, I forgot to mention this, like, the outreach stuff. So first, I just opened After Effects and I started editing for the outreach and went super, super hard on this one edit. I put in like an hour or 2 for this single outreach. And for the second outreach, you'll notice if you're in the same niche and you're targeting people in the same niche, they kind of talk the exact same thing. In this video, I'm going to tell this, you can put the same exact animation. And when they talk about I scaled from 0 to 100K, you're going to put the same exact animation there and tweak some color for the brand and tweak some words and put some text. They won't know anything.
That was the genius breakthrough. Because tell the people right now who are watching, you did, no word of a lie, you did 15 value first outreaches in one single day. And the way you did that, just to recap for anybody who I want to just reaffirm this home because it's so much sauce. You basically put your all into one value first edit and you made incredible animations. You spent more time than someone normally should on a value first edit because you have to hit volume, but you put your all into that edit. You then found a ton of other leads in the same niche and you recognized like the same phrases they were saying. So on outreach number 2, on outreach number 7, on outreach number 9, when they said a similar phrase, you would just copy over that same animation. You might change the colors to fit their channel colors. You might change the numbers. Like one guy said 0 to 10K, the other guy said 0 to 90K, whatever. And you basically just reused a ton of the same content because they're never going to know. They're never going to check notes and peer review with their random other YouTubers who they don't even know. So you were so time efficient with that. And it really enables you to kind of like almost build like a database database of like incredible effects and incredible animations that you've made,
Exactly,
and then just
exactly.
kind of just insert here and hit crazy volume with value first outreach, but still have insane quality. You basically pioneered that, which was sick.
I'll take the credit for this.
You're an innovator. You, Elon Musk, two of the biggest brains, the greatest minds of our generation. No, but
exactly.
All jokes aside, that was such a time efficient, way to hit really high quality, and then no wonder it's resulted in a client. So what would be your big, feedback for somebody who's maybe stuck right now? They're watching the video, they're stuck around maybe even under 1,000, but let's include like your previous level where you were stuck at. Let's say anybody that's like under 2K, like 1 to 2K. What should they be doing the second this video ends? How are they going to get their first clients? What should they do to break out of that?
There's only one word, and it's just outreach. There's nothing else you can do. From that outreach, you can literally do everything from that. Like you can put that outreach on your Twitter profile, and people who are, let's say, 2K and 1K around that, they'll say they have a lot of client work and they can't manage outreaching and stuff. You can even use your client editing, like you can use your client animation, because your client will be exactly in the same niche. He'll also talk about exactly the same thing. Yeah, so you can just reuse that. Like I can show you, like I can screen share my screen.
Yeah, go for it.
I made this for an outreach, and this is the exactly same.
That their credit card setup is optimized when.
And I'll do this, and this is just copy pasted for another one.
Every day that are feeling stuck constantly.
And like I'll even have my client work, and I'll just reuse that animation, and he wouldn't know that I just copy pasted it, because they aren't in the same group, or they aren't sharing. Oh, this guy just sent me the same animation. How rude of him. Like,
and
that's not
the reason this works so good, is because like this is just a value first outreach to get their attention and land them. When you've landed them, hell yeah, go make custom stuff for them. Now they're paying you now, which is fantastic. But if you want to land people and you're spending all day long making all this custom stuff for every single last person, A, it's just not time efficient, and B, it's not even necessary, because the value first outreach is really just like a glorified attention grabber to say, hey, I'm here. Here's a showcase of my skills. Here's what my skills would look like on your videos. Hire me, bro.
Exactly.
It's not 100% hit rate, but like value first pretty much increases your chances of landing clients by a very, very, very like measurable amount, because it's just so much higher quality. And it still kind of rattles my brain that there's freelancers who still aren't doing value first. Like the reason I say this in VP Plus all the time, Tipra. I say like, bro, you're an editor. Like your offer is visual. You can see the value of it right away. Like there's, I would say, almost no other offer outside of maybe graphic design, which also benefits from this, where one single file can communicate instantly how valuable you are.
Exactly.
Like a good edit is undeniable. Somebody can load up your edit and say, holy shit, that's way better than my current content. And they can know right away. So if you're not benefiting, if you're not utilizing value first, I'm going to look at the people now. It's fucking stupid. Like it's literally just stupid to not be doing this. Okay, cool, Tipra. We've gone through a ton of sauce here. Final message for anybody. There's a ton of VP guys watching this because they know you're a killer. There's probably a ton of people watching this who aren't in VP as well. Any final words to somebody who's not in VP Plus, and editors who want to come up but just aren't inside our community yet?
We didn't even talk about this. The hiring tab is such a cool, and it's just so good. I got like a 2,000 client from that itself.
So sick.
The hiring tab. You don't even have to join VP right now. Like you can join the academy stuff, and if you don't have the skill, you can just boost up your skill even in like 2 or 3 months at max. If you put in the work, you can definitely get into VP Plus, and trust me, there's so much value into VP Plus. Like literally, I've gone to 0 to 2K, then 1K, then back to 4K, and it's just totally from VP Plus, and it's just 100% credits goes to that. It's not even just about the courses. The courses are good. The community is just like you, Cami, and even without you guys, there are so many agency owners and so many high quality and high by rich editors basically, and they know how this game works, and they can actually get on calls. And we are like, there's probably a call going, yeah, there's a call going on right now. If you have someone who has this all experience and knows what kind of edits to use, he can actually show you a much more quicker path, because you don't have to go through that trial and error. For the people in VP Plus, there are like 700 people in VP Plus. Only about 50 to 70 people at max join the calls. That is such a bad, like, you're sabotaging yourself. You're paying like $50 for this, and if you aren't joining the calls, if you aren't getting your profile reviewed, your outreach reviewed, like, why are you even paying for this? Like, you have to put in the work because you paid for it. You have to do the work. Like,
I say this all the time. I'm like, literally, the courses are like cool. People think VP Plus is a course. VP Plus is a community. It's an ecosystem. It's much more. It's much more than a course. If you join and just watch the courses and you don't make friends with the community, come to the live calls every single week, and like actually benefit from like the larger ecosystem, it like, you're just wasting your time. Like, you're genuinely wasting your time. You're a guy who jumped in, I assume has consumed pretty much all the content, but actively comes to all the calls, talks to people in the chats, makes friends, networks, jumps on voice chats with people, sees what they're doing well, cross comparison, you know, with what you're doing well, actively wants to get better, come through and asks for feedback, says, what am I doing wrong? Am I doing this right? And then no wonder, you know, you're a guy who's had continuous success. So, I mean, dude, Tipra, it's fucking awesome to see you crushing. I can't really tell you I'm surprised. Like, I did call it last month. I said, you're going to 4K. I bet you go to 4K. Any final words before we wrap this up, brother? You're a beast.
Yeah, just join VP Plus if you aren't. Basically, that's my shield.
I agree. Tipra, you're an absolute beast, brother. Thank you so much for jumping on today, my man.
Yeah, awesome. Great talking to you.
Absolute beast, brother. You fucking deserve it. Thank you so much for jumping on, brother. Peace, peace, peace.